Olá a todos, bem-vindos a mais uma conversa da Look Mag. Hoje temos o prazer de receber uma mulher lindíssima, com uma voz maravilhosa e uma presença de palco ainda melhor. Temos o prazer de receber Elina Siirala, dos Lives Eyes, que vão passar por Lisboa muito em breve. A verdade é que eles estão hoje a gravar esta entrevista e amanhã embarcam na viagem para a tour europeia. First of all, Elina, thank you for accepting our invitation and welcome.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. What a beautiful language. Nice.
For those that doesn't know, that don't know the band and are not familiar with the band, I would like you to remind us how did all began.
Well, the band has been going since 2003, but I joined in 2016. So yeah, almost 10 years now.
Almost 10.
And
half of life of the band.
Yeah, exactly. And we've done several albums and EPs and tours, of course, all over the world. So it's been a great ride. And now we're continuing in 2 days.
In 2 days. It is very curious because you are a soprano. And I would like to know, how was your musical evolution?
That's a good question. I'm actually coming from the classical background. So all my family is classical musicians. And I also studied a degree, but then I moved to London and got into the other styles and into this rock and metal world, and then started my own band. And just got really into the metal. And then I joined Leaves Eyes, and it's been a interesting journey, but it still keeps going. So
when you find symphonic metal, you found out that there was a genre of metal that your voice could be put in and grow a little bit more than in the classic world. It was something of a challenge for you.
Yeah, in a way, it actually didn't start like this. It was more like me thinking, oh, I love this, a bit more hard rock style, but my voice doesn't fit it. So I started writing music that I wanted to do. And then I discovered more and more. I'm like, oh, okay, symphonic metal, there's all these kind of, Delane and Within Temptation, all these bands that I found. And so it was a little bit other way around. but now it's, of course, it's very nice to be able to use my voice in a very different ways also. And just like really push my limits also as a vocalist. So I really love it.
Are there any musicians who inspired you?
Yeah, of course, a lot. Of course, from the classical world, and then Freddie Mercury was also one of my kind of idols since I was a kid. And a lot of great singers out there. Yeah.
What qualities do you admire on them?
Different things. I mean, on the other hand, I love very like the people who can sing very powerfully, like, I don't know, Nora Lohimo from Battle Beast, this kind of very rock voice, which is kind of opposite in a way from mine. And then also very delicate singers and everything in between. It's not anything specific, but I guess it's just something unique or something that catches you. It's also the whole charisma of the person. It's not just the voice.
Not just the voice. And talking about voice, how do you keep your voice in such a good shape?
Well, on tour specifically, it can be a challenge. So first of all, I hope I stay healthy. That's the first thing. And then try to stay hydrated, sleep enough, and just not, shout too much and no alcohol and stuff like this. Of course, you can have a glass of wine and enjoy food and stuff like this. But, everything in moderation. Just try and stay stress-free and not to overuse the voice too much. And then warm up, of course. Warm up nicely and take care of the muscles and everything.
Before a gig, it's important to warm up, right?
I do, yeah, of course, a little bit. Yeah, it's always like with everything, exercising and stuff, you want to warm up.
And it's important so the voice can keep the same level through all the concert and all the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Like now we have, I think, 16 shows in a row. So that's
16? Jesus!
That's going to be quite a ride. So yeah, just to, it's also muscles. So you have to stretch them and warm them up. So yeah.
Exactly. 4 years after you release the last Viking, you return with Myths of Fate. And it's a very epic album, this one. How did you choose the name for the album?
That came from Alex. He usually comes out with the concepts, or it's not a concept album, but we had this theme of myths and all kinds of stuff like this, a bit more cryptic, and all these kind of stories that we wanted to bring into this album. And Myths of Fate just like kind of brings it together very nicely. So yeah, it just describes the content very well.
And what was the process of creating the album? It was easy, it was hard.
Both. I guess the creative process is always some things come, let's say, easily, and some things you have to work on, some things you have to work out. Even in the moment, you wanted to, for example, vocally trying things out and figuring, okay, what fits the song. Some things are easier to sing, some are more difficult, and I'm sure it's same for the instrumentalists. So it's all together, and then you have to bring it all together and make it work. So yeah, it's quite a puzzle, but it's really fascinating to make an album.
It was different. The process of songwriting this album was different from the previous one, or it was the same?
It was a little bit different because our previous guitarist Tosso, our great friend, he left the band. So we actually got a lot of orchestrations from Jonah. And then we were kind of working through with them and making the songs with the orchestrations first, in many cases. And then I also wrote some ideas, and it was kind of like a little bit more, what's the word in English? Cooperation, in a way, that we were all bringing quite a lot of stuff into it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
That was the orchestrations of Jonah was the biggest challenge in this creation and the process of the album.
I wouldn't call it challenge. I mean, it was really it was incredible orchestrations he was making, and it was giving us a lot of inspiration. And of course, you always have to change certain things, like sometimes the ranges and arrangement wise and everything. But I mean, he makes incredible compositions, and it's a pleasure to work with this kind of stuff. So
I imagine so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mix elements from folk, from classical. This just to ask you, how each one of you musicians, how do you contribute to the songs? With your background is different, and do you contribute differently for each song, or how is that process among you?
Yeah, I think it varies a little bit. Like I said, for example, if the original idea comes from me, then of course it's a different point of view. I only play keys, so I usually write with the keys and vocal lines. So I don't. Then of course the person who is a drummer or guitarist, they will bring their own input there. And of course, Alex is the producer, so he's been working with this band and many other bands for years and years. So he then kind of brings it all together, and it's a process for sure. But it varies from song to song. Absolutely. Sometimes I have a different role, and it really difficult to sum it up. In one sentence, but yeah, it does vary.
The ballad in Eternity was written by you. Tell me more about this song.
Yeah, it was the original idea, the demo and the vocal line, and I also did some of the keys there, came from me. It was a song that came from quite a sad place, as Alex's mother passed away, sadly. And I came back home and just wrote this song. So that's the original background of the song. And then, of course, what the guys did with everything else around it, I really like how it turned out, the power, and also like the rawness and the message of the song. I really like it.
In the album, you have several collaborations. Can you talk a little bit about them?
We have always our native instruments on the album. So nickel harpa and the violin and everything. So this is always essential also for Leaves Eyes, and it brings this little extra spice into the songs. And it's always great to hear when that, because often I'm not there. The song is kind of maybe ready, and then they come and do their part, and then I hear it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That sounds really good.
It's important to have those instruments more traditional, so the sound, it's your sound, and nobody else has mistaken or doubts about the sound of the band.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
We already talked about the Jonah and the production. What it was like working with him?
With Jonah, I already mentioned that it was a real inspiration to hear these ideas, these compositions that he sent us, and then come up with our parts and combine it all together. And I really like the epicness in the songs, the instrumentations he uses. And you maybe know he already did this soundtrack for the Last Viking, the DVD, the Viking documentary. So that's how it was kind of like started already then. And then now we just continued it. And it was really, really fruitful cooperation, I have to say.
Elina, do you imagine the band playing with an orchestra? A classical one.
That would be amazing. Yeah, it would combine perfectly the two worlds that I'm in. I'm used to actually much more to sing in acoustic way with a piano or orchestra. So I like to hear my voice I don't like so much the in-ear and stuff. But that would combine those two, and it would be amazing.
And it would be amazing. You recorded 5 video clips in different places, Iceland, Germany, Poland. It is important for the band to have this visual part, somehow like a complement for the music. It's important to have visual and music together, so you can deliver the message in a whole.
Yeah, I think especially with Leaves Eyes, the songs are sparking so many visual images already that it was difficult to pick which songs to do. First of all, for the videos, we could do video for all of them. And because Alex is also making them, so he's filming, he is editing, he's doing everything. So he has all the visions and then bringing them alive, and also in these amazing locations. So it was just perfect, really. I really enjoyed making the videos. And I think, as you said, they complement the songs perfectly.
Do you have a favorite one?
Oh, that's difficult for different reasons. Like you mentioned, we went to Iceland, so that was an amazing trip. We filmed for several videos there. I got to be the Idun with the apples in my goddess outfit, so that was really cool. But then on the other hand, also the realm of dark waves on the cliff with the ice cold wind, and it just looks amazing. And then also in Eternity, completely different. We filmed in Poland with the witches and friends dancing around the fire. So yeah, it's very difficult to pick.
It was easy for you to become a goddess?
Well, I guess other people have to be the judge of that, but I really love playing the characters and then being also the singer, and these that you get to sometimes do something else than just being yourself. So it was really nice.
And all the visual elements that you put on yourself, they all work very well together, huh?
Yeah. It's nice to like just to transform and play a role also.
Yeah, with this album, the band celebrates 20 years of existence. How do you think the band evolved all over these 2 decades? Looking back.
Well, obviously the big change was when I joined the band in 2016, and that's alone already change because I have different voice, and the music has taken also an evolution, I would say, which is normal in such a long way. And you also don't want to make the same album for 20 years. So I think it's been a great involvement, and also for me vocally, I feel like this was my best vocal work on this album, and now we go forward and push it even more, and let's see what comes next. So it's really exciting journey.
What is your favorite, Viking or the myths from the Northern Europe?
Well, I like both. I mean, it's different. Like I said, it's also nice to be able to bring more of this battle side of the band, you know, all these more historic things. And then you have this mystic side, more soft things also. And then I can use my voice also differently. So it's all works together.
You are bringing the Myths of Faith European tour to Portugal. And what can we expect from the concert?
Well, we always, as you mentioned, the band has very visual songs, so we always try to bring this on stage, tell the stories to people, and show as much as we can visually. Also, we often have Vikings with us on stage, and just to bring also this party element, you know, just to rock with us and have fun with jumping, and we're maybe bringing some surprises with us.
That's nice.
And it's also going to be, for me, the first time ever playing in Portugal, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
You have great expectations regarding these concerts in Portugal.
Of course. I can't wait to be in your country and meet you. So yeah, and you know, celebrate with you, all of you. So and the new songs also again to the stage. Yeah, it'll be very nice.
Before we end this conversation, because you have to pack to go to the tour, I would like you to challenge you to invite those that are a little bit indecisive regarding to go or not to go to the concert. How do you capture their attention to come with us? What would you say to them?
Yeah, well, regardless of the preferences in music and stuff, I think we Leaf Size is very versatile band. Also musically, we have a lot of different kind of songs that will speak to a lot of different people. And we like to have fun, and we like to involve our fans, and have, you know, it will be a great experience no matter what. And of course, we are very ambitious band, and we also want to musically and visually bring you the experience and show. So yeah, come and step into our world, and let's have some fun together.
Let's meet the myths, let's meet the goddess, and let's meet all the other Vikings that will be in Lisbon with the band. Elina, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It was very nice to have you here with us. Safe journey. And I hope to see you in Lisbon, and take care. And thank you again.
Thank you for having me, and see you there.
See you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.